Hello friends, welcome. I'm Commissar Mark and today we're going to be playing some more There Are Billions on 800% difficulty. Today's plan is going to be clear out the hero mission that's called Hydra Power Plant and then go to a mission that's called A Nest of the Harpy. Again, the game thinks that this mission is very difficult, but I actually beg to differ. It's not that hard at all compared to the narrow pass or the lowlands. I'd rather go here instead, and so we will, because I'll explain in detail what goes into strategy regarding that mission. And this over here is what I like to call a nope room, because you don't expect this since you didn't do any research prior to going to this mission. You open the door and then go nope, because you didn't have your grenade ready on your hotkeys and just have to run away. Now we can use the console to activate electricity to kind of slowly whittle down the enemies that might wander into that room from that other one. But overall, I'm just gonna let this approach be open and just leave and go and scout the other side of the base and then collect some more consumables that way. Once we secure all the outside areas, we will focus on getting into the actual facility itself, and you'll see me juggle a lot of the power consoles to constantly activate a lot of them to constantly clear enemies. This map is packed and requires superb micro in terms of either handling all the groups very well with sandbags and shooting, or using the consoles to clear a lot of the enemies with the power surges. However, be very careful, as the power surge can hit you and it can even one-shot you if you're low enough on health. It does damage you substantially, and so I advise you to be very careful when handling the power. Now, here in the mission I will run out of medical supplies and we will unfortunately drop all the way up to 6 HP, which is really not a lot, and so I need to be super careful not to get attacked anymore by anything. Fortunately for me, I did manage to find another medkit later on in the mission, but the hardest part was still ahead of me, and I needed to juggle a lot of the consoles all of the time to be able to clear all of these rooms. The final one has executives in it. I did grenade them, but there's just so many that some of them needed to be cleared manually, and it took a while, but I'll speed through it so you can get a gist. From watching this, you should kind of get an idea that if you know the layout well, you can avoid a lot of these pitfalls by being careful and preparing your grenade button before you open many doors and things like that. I wasn't very careful, but it still worked out in the end without any restarts, and so it worked for me. But again, normally I would recommend you play these missions on lower difficulty because it's just a slog really. There's so many enemies in these levels. Back on the campaign map, I will be assigning a skill point for Callus, and we'll be picking up the 70% attack damage increase, as it's gonna be crucial to clear out chubbies and harpies in the near future in the other no-build missions we'll encounter, and this is gonna help us a lot. Plus, we also have 460 points of research that we've acquired from the Hydra power plant mission. We'll be spending this before we go to the Nest of the Harpy, and I'll be picking up a technology to unlock warehouses, which warehouses boost production of all production structures in their vicinity. They don't benefit housing, but they do benefit farms, sawmills, hunters, all things like this. Quarries as well. It also increases total available stockpile space for all resources and gold, which helps on these missions as it reduces the need of micromanaging your stocks constantly, and being able to stockpile a little more is useful. The other technologies we will be picking up are optics for increased command center vision range, then directly head to long-range rifle, which is gonna boost our soldier attack range and vision range by 1. Plus, we also have leftover points to assign a point into concrete, which is gonna unlock stone walls. Now, without further ado, let's head over to the command center for the mission Nest of the Harpy. We can see that we'll start with the command center in the center in the lower part of the map, and we have an invasion point from the left side as well as from the right side, so possible swarm attack points are east and west as well as north. But there's a crucial point of this mission, which is a big valley that is filled with Harpy kind enemies, and these are very dangerous infected, probably one of the worst enemies to face, apart from perhaps mutants and spitters if they're masked. And so we will need a lot of defenses as well as a lot of soldiers here. If you overextend, what could happen in this mission is you could possibly get attacked by early Harpy or 2, and if you don't have enough rangers or units stationed at your choke point in the north, which I'm going to mark right now, that could result in over aggro and destruction. So we want to be sure to not aggro too many enemies. I'll be marking areas with executives that it's recommended to have soldiers before you clear these out. These are not that common here, as this map is quite approachable. As I mentioned before, I actually quite like this one, and it's totally doable to just go ahead and do it with this kind of technology level and without too much stress, as this mission is fairly linear with its invasion points. If you invest into defenses with shocking towers and then produce soldiers, you should have safe base to expand a lot of farms and all their production into and make a lot of housing, raise our income. And then when we mass around, usually I think around 130 soldiers plus shocking towers that I'll build in this area, I like to then poke into the Harpy area and clear them out. Usually some soldiers will die, and it will be necessary to even lose some some of the defenses, but we need to do it somehow. We don't have the snipers yet, and so this is the best option we have at the moment to clear this. It is imperative you don't push into it too soon, because what could happen is the Harpies can absolutely overrun everything, at which point it's just either you have the critical mass to deal with the present challenges or you don't. If you don't, then you could lose everything. And so even setting up fallback lines, if you don't trust yourself, set up some extra walls. They'll delay the Harpies, even though the Harpy kind enemies can climb over walls. They will be slowed down by them, and so you can actually, keep rallying troops, make multiple soldier centers, even when you fight, create more units, and then if you get overrun, just fall back, even disable or delete some structures to let the enemies just kind of chill where they kill your army, and set up a fallback line and then mass again to clear the rest. And that's how it's gonna be. There are gonna be a lot of swarms on this one. I think 3 big ones in total, plus runner groups, of course, from all edges. But the big swarms, again, we need to be careful to have shocking trials researched before the first swarm hits our base. And then, depending on where it hits from, we construct our first shocking tower in that area. Now, with all this explained, I'll just be zooming through the mission as we usually do. And so, if you have any questions later, ask me in the comments. If you have any ideas for changing the format of the video, let me know in the comments. For me, this is preferable, as I just explain things here in the command center and then I just show you the gameplay, and you can just go to specific points in the video to see what I did. You can see the timer in the mission itself. Usually you see the amount of days and what kind of expansion did I do at that point in time, and that could be handy for people to realize what should be their goals at specific times. But I'm gonna spell everything out for you. You should know at this point we've covered enough missions. As for the research points that we acquired from the rest of the Harpy mission, we'll be picking up a technology called Advanced Lenses, which unlocks a scouting tower. Not very useful, but it leads to sniper technology, which is rather important, especially useful against special infected such as the masked Harpy, and so we will be using it in order to beat a swarm next time, as we'll be heading to Gamma Medical Center, and then you'll be playing the Lonely Forest mission. Anyway, I'm gonna thank you for watching and see you around. Bye.